Over time, we will accumulate a lot of files. MS-DOS has a way to visualize the files and directories, but it's not all that great. So at some point, we will want a file manager. MS-DOS includes a very basic way to view files and the directory structure. The tree command outputs a list of files and directories, which can easily overflow a single page. The solution is using the more descriptor. The output will pause at each page, and that isn't really better. That is where file managers come in. Starting with MS-DOS 4, a program called DOS Shell was included. DOS Shell has several advantages over the tree command, from mouse support to the ability to copy, move, and delete files, as well as being able to Alt-Tab switch between programs. Let's take a tour of the interface. Starting from the top, we have the menu bar, which is split into the categories File, Options, View, Tree, and Help. Below the menu bar is the current path. Immediately below that is the drive selection, which allows you to quickly and easily switch between drives. Next, we have the directory tree. This is similar to the tree command in displaying directories and subdirectories. The tree can be expanded and collapsed using the minus and plus symbols next to each object. The pane next to the directory tree lists the files in the current directory, similar to the dir command. The file name, extension, size, and date are displayed. Now for the bottom section titled Main. This is a list of programs that you can run, something like the shortcuts on the desktop in Windows. Finally, yet importantly, is the status bar at the very bottom, which shows the time at the far right and hotkeys at the left. You can fully navigate the DOS shell with either a keyboard or mouse. The tab key allows you to switch between the different sections. The arrow keys let you highlight specific objects in the selected section. And in the directory tree, you can use the minus and plus keys on the keyboard to collapse and expand the tree, respectively. Next, I would like to highlight a few interesting features in the DOS shell. Under the Options menu, selecting Display allows you to switch from the default text mode to several different graphical modes. Selecting Colors under the Options menu gives you a choice of different color schemes that are available for the DOS shell. Last and probably most interesting is the Task Swapper under the Options menu. After selecting Enable Task Swapper from the Options menu, you can open one program like Edit, then press Ctrl Escape to get back to DOS shell. Then open a second program like QBasic. Now we can press Alt-Tab to switch between the Edit program, DOS shell, and QBasic. Next up, we have another popular file manager to look at called XTree Gold. Let's take a tour of the interface. At the top left, we have the path identification line, which displays the current path, where the highlight bar or pointer is. As you change the current directory, the path identification bar also changes. If only a drive letter and backslash are displayed, the currently highlighted directory is the root directory on the disk or volume. At the top right is the date and time according to the system clock. Next, we have the directory window, which displays the directory structure of the current volume. The root directory is at the top of the pane, and the remaining directories are sorted alphabetically, and subdirectories are indented. In the directory window, there is a highlight bar that can be used to select a directory. Below the directory window is the file window, which lists the files in the selected directory. Up to 12 files can be displayed in the file window at any time. Off to the right, below the date and time, is the file specification box, which is a filter for the file window. By default, this will be set to ***, and can be changed to any file extension you would like displayed, such as exe or com. Below the file specification box is the disk specification box, which identifies the disk or volume currently being displayed by XTree Gold. The disk specification box contains the volume label and number of available bytes. Then we have the statistics box, which displays information about files and the amount of storage space they occupy. This changes depending on which of the directory or file window is active. When the directory window is active, the statistics reflect the data on the current volume. When the file window is active, the statistics for the current file are displayed. Finally, yet importantly, at the bottom of the window, we have the command menu, which displays the available directory or file commands, depending on which window is active. The available XTree Gold commands are always displayed on 3 lines, and one uppercase letter of each command is highlighted to identify the hotkey, which is the key you should press to select that command. There is also a pull-down menu that appears by pressing the F10 key on the keyboard. Another file manager, possibly the more popular and better known of the 3, is Norton Commander. I personally have not used it, and so far have not been able to locate a user manual for it, so I'm not able to explain how to use it. I do get some enjoyment from trying to figure it out on my own. When you open Norton Commander, you get a pane on the right side of the screen that contains a list of files in the current directory. Using the arrow keys, you can highlight the file. Pressing Enter when a binary file is highlighted will open the program, same as it would if you type the name of the program at the command prompt. When highlighting an ASCII file, pressing Enter does nothing, although you can press one of the function keys as shown on the bottom of the screen. F4, for example, will open the file in the Edit program. You can open an additional pane on the left side of the screen. Pressing the F9 key opens the menu at the top. Arrow over to the menu item called Left, then press the down arrow. From this menu, you can select the pane you would like displayed. We can choose Tree, for example. Fantastic. One other thing I found is that if the system sits idle for a time, a screensaver will start. I like this feature, and I've never seen this screensaver before. Now it's time to talk about networking in MS-DOS, or a replacement command line interpreter called 4DOS.